Welcome back to the Legend of Master Sexy YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about why Filipinas are different than Western women. The reason I know that is because I've talked to at least dozens of Filipinas over the last 6 months, possibly even up to 100 different Filipinas. So this is based 100% on my experience of talking to them, explaining why I believe they are different than Western women. For those of you that are new here, welcome to the channel, and make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel because within the next 2 months, I will be traveling to the Philippines in January of 2026. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that because I'm going to be doing a ton of different things when I go visit there, showing you guys my experience, different places I'm going to travel to. So yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, if you guys like this content, show some love to the video by hitting that like button. All right, guys, let's get into it. So I could go on for days and days about why Filipinas are different than Western women. And I have so many different reasons and so many different things that I like about them compared to Western women. But just to keep the video at a decent time, I'm gonna talk about 5 main things. Number 1, they value family over money and status. It's kind of funny because when you think about it, you'll hear it from people sometimes, oh, she just wants to come to your country. She wants you for your money. They're gold diggers, whatever. Something that is obvious, in case you guys haven't realized yet, there's gold diggers in every culture. So yeah, from my experience talking to multiple Filipinas, one thing I would say obviously is they value family over money or status. Obviously, it's not a very rich country, so, money is important to them still, just like it is to everybody, obviously. But one thing that I noticed, so for example, I talked to this one girl, very, very friendly girl, very positive, very mature, very curious about our culture, really fun to talk to, actually. She's probably one of the funnest girls I've talked to. Really nice girl. And one thing that she's the eldest daughter, and in the Filipino culture, from what I've researched at least, apparently the eldest daughter can take on the responsibility of actually being the provider for the family. So she took on that responsibility, and she's actually really grateful for that responsibility. So because she loves her family so much, that's what she told me. And she has, I think it's her mom, her brother, her grandparents. So she is a teacher, and she literally takes care of all of her family, which is crazy because if you think about someone doing that here in the West, I don't feel like many people in the West would do that for their family. So just different cultures, also how they're raised, right? So I really value that, and I really like that in a Filipina. So for me to say, they value family over money and status more than Western women, where Western women, they're looking for, not always, but usually looking for a guy with a really good career, a lot of money. Sometimes their expectations are very, very high from a man financially. It's okay to have high expectations of people. I mean, I do as well. But, sometimes when it comes to finances, stuff like that, if that's the only thing that you're with the guy for, I think that's kind of a problem. But anyway, that is number 1. Number 2 is feminine versus feminist mindset. So one thing I noticed was, obviously being here in Canada, a lot of women have a feminist mindset where they always want to challenge you. They always want to, it's okay to have some sort of debate, have some sort of disagreements on things, of course, but a lot of times they want to be in control here. Most of the Filipinas that I've talked to, they really embrace their feminine qualities, and that to me is very attractive. For me, a feminine woman comes off as attractive, and a masculine woman, which would be somebody that has more like a feminist mindset, is unattractive. That's my personal opinion. So this is real talk. Might get some hate on this one, but I really don't care. So If you don't like it, hit that thumbs down button, go to the next video. So for me, the feminine mindset of a Filipina compared to a feminist mindset, very, very attractive. So number 3 is traditional values are still alive in the Philippines. So there's a lot of girls, you know, I've actually talked to a lot of girls from the province, and those girls are very traditional a lot of times, not always. A lot of them actually are very career driven as well. But even the career driven ones that I've talked to, they've kind of embraced those traditional roles as well. Like they're like, you know, I talked to one girl, for example, I just like want to give you guys some insight into some of the girls that I talked to here. The one girl that I talked to, she had a business degree, had a great job, you know, lived on her own. She worked out, she cooked, she cleaned, was very feminine still, you know, wanted to be a mother, wanted to be a wife, but still had a career. Like, I couldn't find anything wrong with this girl. Like, it was crazy. And I talked to her for probably a month or two. And I think the only thing for me was I wasn't 100% attracted to her. In case I didn't tell you guys in a previous, or in case it's your first time here, I did mention in a previous video, my sister calls me Shallow Al. In case you guys haven't seen the movie Shallow Hal with Jack Black, if you watch that movie, you'll understand they're very, very shallow, and I'm kind of the same way. But you know what? I'm honest about it. I have very high standards of what I look for in a woman. So yeah, if you haven't seen that movie though, go watch it. It's really good. I went off topic there, but anyway, my point was, for Filipinas, a lot of them, you know, they want to be housewives, mothers. They want to take care of their family, take care of their husband, which for me, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, you know, I'd prefer to have a housewife, someone that stays at home, cooks, cleans, you know, massages me, takes care of the kids, is a good mother to my future kids, right? I have no kids yet, but that's what I'm looking for. So definitely harder to find here in Canada, a woman that wants to stay home, or from my experience, if they want to stay home, I'm not going to say any names, but if they want to stay home, they don't do those roles that they should be doing, right, on a daily basis. It's very, they just don't fill those roles. That's all I'll say. I don't want to be too rude. So anyway, even though in this video, I might have already messed that up. I might be a little too rude already, but that's all perspective. Number 4, grateful, not entitled. So this I noticed big time compared to Western women with Filipinas. You know, for example, I've talked to some Filipinas. They're in, you know, you can tell where they're living. They're not living in like some lavish lifestyle. They don't have a ton of money, you can tell, right? Or like they'll tell me they're a teacher. Well, it's pretty easy to look up a teacher's salary in the Philippines. They're not making crazy money. That being said, cost of living is lower there. You have to take that into account. But for example, that one girl I was talking about, she had to pretty much take care of like 7 people in her family. She was the only one bringing in money, right? So it's like, and this girl might be like, oh, well, she's probably using that as a story to get money from me. It's like, no, she never asked me for money once. There was no asking for money. I don't even know if she asked me what I did, to be honest. She was too interested in me. And honestly, like, yeah, she was really, really interested in me. Guys, when you're good with talking with women, when you're good at talking with women, you don't need to lead with like, oh, I do this, I do this. You want her to ask those questions to you. You don't want to be bragging about that stuff. So don't bring that stuff up first. Wait until they start asking you these questions. And that also shows that she's interested in you. You're like, oh, I have this car, I do this for work, I make this much money. Firstly, it's just gross. It's like, why are you bragging about all this stuff? Wait for her to ask you, you know, be better at talking to women than that. So if you guys are doing that stuff, I recommend, you know, learning about female psychology a little bit, dating, and it'll definitely help you guys out a lot. It has for me. Like, I've changed my mindset big time since I've been single. So, and you could just see the attraction building with these women. So I know I'm going off topic again, but anyway, my whole point was being that women that I've talked to in the Philippines, more often than not, it's not always the case, right? Like, there are some women here that are grateful too, but a lot of women here are entitled. where I find in the Philippines, a lot more women are grateful. Almost all of them that I've talked to, where I've actually talked to for like multiple days or weeks, the ones that I didn't disqualify for other reasons, that I actually maybe was interested in, very, very grateful. So, and for me, I'm so grateful for my life. I'm grateful for everything that I have. You know, am I doing like the best? Am I where I want to be yet? Absolutely, absolutely not. I have such a long way to go. There's so many things I want to accomplish in my life, and I'm not even close to there. But I know I'm taking the right steps to get there, and that's what's important, is that progress, right? So, number 5, they want to follow a great leader. So, it's interesting, right? This is a very interesting thing to talk about for me, because so me and my friend, if you haven't watched the one video of us going to Miami, the boss, we talk about this stuff all the time, about what, you know, attraction with women, dating, all that stuff, and talk about how, you know, for women to be feminine and want to follow a man, he has to be a good leader. He has to be a great leader. He has to have goals in life. He has to have status in a way, right? So like, he has to be good at something. When I say status, I don't mean financial status. I mean, like, he could be, you know, he could be good at guitar. You could be, you know, masculine in the sense you're a good fighter, you're funny, you provide some sort of value. You have some sort of skill set that, you know, took time, energy, effort to acquire, and women find that attractive, right? So they want to follow a good leader, and they also want to follow a guy that has goals in life. So even if you're not really financially in the best situation, but you're doing the best you can, you're doing well, and you're good with your mouth, you know how to talk to women, build that attraction, like, you don't need to have millions of dollars to find a woman, right? And this isn't just like I've dated girls where I've been in some pretty rough financial situations, and they should have told me, like, I would live on the street with you, right? And like, I wasn't making good money. Like, I was been laid off from jobs, girl stays with me. It's like, just because, you know, I have some of those other masculine traits, those things that she's attracted to, she knows my goals in life, and she knows, she believes in me, for example, right? But maybe that's not the right woman for you at the same time. That's kind of my situation, right? But my point is, a woman wants to follow a good leader. If you are not a good leader, here's what happens. The woman will become the leader. And that's what happens a lot in the West. These guys also, too, the problem is with a lot of these guys, they don't speak their mind. They're too afraid to say anything to these girls when they're disrespected. I know a few people, I'm not gonna say their names on here, just in case they ever do watch this stuff, but I mean, they're bossed around by their wives, by their girlfriends. They're completely disrespected, and you know what I mean? It's just, for me, that's no way to live. A good woman that embraces you as a leader, she follows you, she appreciates you, or she admires you, you have to show her appreciation also. So don't, overly do it where you're, putting her up on a pedestal all the time, because that's not very attractive either. But you do have to value that woman if she's a good woman, right? They're rare, they're hard to find. They are hard to find in the West. I do think they exist here, so not to hate on the women from the West, I'm gonna end this kind of by saying this. There are good women in the West, obviously, guys. They're just not as common, in my opinion. Of course, you maybe find a girl that's like religious or something, and you find a girl that has good values and stuff, similar values that match yours. But there's a lot of cultural differences in the Philippines as well that you just will not get here regardless. So for me, Philippines, the Filipina, I don't know what it is other than physical traits. There's so much more that they bring to the table than a Western woman, in my opinion. And to add to that, guys, I'm not saying Filipinas are perfect either. I've talked to a ton that have negative mindsets. They're boring. They don't really add any value, but move on from them quick. Don't stay and talk to them. I talked to one for weeks, probably. Just, I got on a video call with her. She's always like sour. Like, her attitude was just horrible. And she wasn't like rude to me, because if she was rude to me, I would have stopped talking to her. She always like, it seemed like she was very, very interested, but she was always kind of like masculine in a way. And that's where it comes back to like, you know, she wasn't ever like joyful, happy, smiling. For me, like that's what's attractive. It's like a girl that's, I can be playful with, laugh with, have fun with, somebody that, you know, doesn't take life too serious, because that's how I am as well. Has a good sense of humor, can take jokes, doesn't get hurt about all this stuff. And she has to be able to, you know, like I think with that girl, for example, I made like one joke, and like she like called me out on it, tried like saying, oh, that's not how it works, blah, blah, blah. And she got like kind of rude. And then I was just like, okay, whatever, cool. And I just stopped talking to her. And then all of a sudden she comes back. Like as soon as a girl disrespects you guys, stop talking to her. If you have boundaries, if she breaks your rules, like for yourself, where it's like, hey, I'm not gonna take disrespect, I'm not gonna take cheating, I'm not gonna take this, whatever it is, cut her off. Like just stop talking to her. There's tons of them out there. So you have to have the mindset of an abundant mindset of being able to move on quick, on to the next. There are a ton of women out there. Don't get set on one, okay? Don't make that mistake. But my point is, guys, overall, those are 5 differences that I see from Filipinas to girls in the West. If you guys enjoyed this video, like I said, make sure you give it a like, comment, subscribe. I will be going to the Philippines January 6th, 2026 with my friend, the boss. I'm going for 30 days, going to some different places. I still have to figure that out. And I will post a video when I figure out my itinerary, kind of my game plan of what I'm gonna do, where I'm gonna go, and all that stuff. So just wanna say thanks for watching the video. And last but not least, guys, don't forget to stay legendary and stay sexy.